Hello everyone, I'm Ken Reels, and welcome to This Anime, the podcast that talks about anime past, present, and future, all with the exclamation of This Anime. And welcome to the penultimate episode of the My Hero Academia Rewatch series. This is covering Season 5, Episodes 89 through Episode 100. That's right, we are 100 episodes in. Holy shit. It was just not even a couple, like 2 weeks ago when we covered episode 50. Oh boy. That's a hell of a friggin' it's pretty amazing that we have gone that far. We are in Season 5 of My Hero Academia. And this first half of the season, I have no qualms with. It's the second half of the season where I really start to go, you fucked up. Season 5 has some very... this first half of Season 5 has some very beautiful pieces of animation. I just wish that these beautiful pieces of animation were put into the second half of the season, because the second half of the season is probably one of the more interesting arcs, because it's going to cover two arcs in the second half of Season 5, and the decision making was shit. And we'll cover that in the finale. But it's not good. This first half of Season 5 is actually really good. We get a lot of info on One for All, and All for One, and the idea that, okay, so now there are actual other powers that Deku is going to get. Because because every single bearer of One for All has a power, has other powers, except for obviously All Might and Deku. And I think there's a thought process to be there in the fact that, so out of all 8 bearers of the power, the first and the 7th and 8th all didn't have quirks, and that's really interesting. And it you start to think, like, okay, who's gonna have this power, and what are they gonna necessarily do with it? And it's a cool idea that, okay, now he's gonna get all these other powers. You've got the introduction of his Black Whip power, and Black Whip is just a very, very interesting power. It's not necessarily that crazy, given the fact that just this week in the manga, as I'm recording this, we have a really, really awesome moment. And I can't wait. I can't wait to see that animated, because it's such a cool move, and it's gonna be such a cool, like, episode ender. It's a very episode ending kind of move, and just a shot, and like the splash page is fucking gorgeous. I can't wait for that. But going back to this whole thing with Season 5, I don't hate Season 5. I like the first this first half of season 5 isn't bad. It's back to school stuff, where we're facing against class 2B or 1B. Sorry, jeez Christ, what the fuck am I saying? It's I like getting to know some more of these characters. The manga guy is really cool. I like that power. And like one of the dudes has like can vibrate his body and other objects, and that's a cool power. Like, a lot of these powers are really cool. And then we get Monoma, who has a copy ability, but we learn in episode 100 that Monoma's power can't deal with stockpile quirks. He can't copy stockpile stuff like Deku's, or in this case Aries quirk. It's all about stockpiling power and using it. So he can't copy those abilities because he doesn't have the fuel to actually use the power. Very similar to, and Deku's just like, oh yeah, he was more worried that Monoma was gonna explode, like All Might said would happen if your body wasn't strong enough to handle All for One, or One for All, I mean. But it's really good. Like, I like the fight, and then we also have Shinzo being said, like, okay, Shinzo's going to join the hero course in the next year, and it's given the fact of what happens later on, it's the time frame of My Hero Academia is really weird, in the fact that we're in season 5 and we're just getting to the winter season. Like, the next episode after episode 100 is the Christmas episode. So we have gone from about March, I believe, like March, all the way to now December. So we're in December now, time frame wise, and it's really weird, because we're gonna get a whole lot of just a whole lot of stuff hits the fan, especially with season 6 coming up. Everything's gonna start hitting the fan, and it's just a roller coaster ride at this point. And it's crazy that we have a little, it feels like a Harry Potter kind of situation where everything just, all the school stuff kind of just takes a back seat at a certain point. And after season 6, pretty much everything school-wise takes a back seat. So this is technically the last arc that kind of involves the school, which is crazy to think about. And like, everything leads into, like, Horikoshi, as he continued writing My Hero, he started molding in the different arcs and doing the transitions a hell of a lot better than he did early on. Like, early on, the transitions were very stark and easy to piece together. Now it's a lot harder to kind of split up the arcs. And I'm super excited to finally watch the dub for this second half of season 5, personally, because Season 5 has some really cool moments. I was a little disappointed that they in the upcoming second half here that they didn't take direct panels from the manga, which directly correlate. And I have not actually heard some of these characters' voices in the next half of the season, so I'm really looking forward to that. If you can't already tell, there's not a lot to say about this first half of season 5, because it's just like, yeah, we have the classes battling each other. We get to see some cool powers, and that's about it. And I really did enjoy the reintroduction episode with episode 89. That was fun. We got Mirio with his smile just floating down the river, and it's such a funny image to GIF and everything. And overall, like, yeah, no, there's not a lot to say about this first half of season 5. It's fine. Like, we get some cool powers. We get the reintroduction of Shinzo, and saying, okay, Shinzo's now going to be a part of the hero course going forward in the next year of when they're second years. And I'm looking forward to seeing what occurs with season 6, because the second half of season 5 has a few issues, mainly being like it swaps 2 arcs, and I get why they swapped the arcs, but by swapping the arcs, they're going to completely fuck with the time frame of everything and confuse the fuck out of you. But yeah, no, I don't hate this first half of the season, and I think I'm kind of looking forward to finally watching the second half of the season. You're probably wondering, wait, where the hell is the review of the second movie? Well, let me tell you this. The movies I have decided to push into the main show. So we return to finish the full My Hero Academia Rewatch series as the the true finale. The season finale is going to be next episode, but the true finale isn't going to be until the September episode, where we're going to be covering the second and the third My Hero Academia movies. Hopefully I am going to see if I can get a guest for that. I'm not 100% on whether I'm going to be able to get a guest on that. If not, oh well. If so, cool. But yeah, no, we're going to be covering the movies as our final episode. So I'm looking forward to that. So with that, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you guys for listening. Follow me on Twitter at KenReels. Follow the podcast at ThisAnimePod. ThisAnimePodcast.com is still technically where you can find the episode posts, but I will be eventually redirecting that to Spreaker. These episodes are going to be published via Spreaker, so most people don't visit the website, so we'll eventually be moving that URL over to Spreaker. But until then, just follow at ThisAnimePod, KenReels on Twitter, and we'll see you next time. Plus Ultra, everybody. Play us out.